we got the clarity about MVC, architecture, rules and regulations. Now, directly we will go to the practical point of view. So we have a login form. So let I have created a new project MVC underscore JSP let. So first of all, I will create a login form. So login form, login.jsp. This is my presentation logic, and this is my client side. So we have a login form having two attributes. One is username and one is password. After putting username and password properly, when I will click the login button, so click means something will happen. One response we will get whether login is successful or login is not successful. So my point is in a login form, when we will click, that means a request is going to the server over the web. So in our MVC context, whatever the request will go to the server, so the request will reach at the controller component. So who is the controller component? Servlet is the controller component. So I will write form action equals to login servlet let. So one servlet we have to develop. That means login servlet dot java we will develop. So login servlet dot java is our controller component. Okay. So now I will create a login form using table tag. Let table border equals to 1. So then table row, then table data. One row first of all I will represent. So one attribute username, then I will end table data. So td. So I will write input type equals to text name equals to whatever you write. You suppose. Now I will end table row. So username is one attribute. I will copy and I will paste. Instead of username, I will write here password. Another attribute we have password. Input type equals to password. Let name equals to pass. Then one command button I will represent. Input type equals to submit value equals to let it login. So in this way, last row I completed, then table I will complete, then I will end form tag, then I will end center tag. So this part we have known many times. We have developed login form having two attributes. One is username and one is password. If I will go to web.xml file, so welcome file I will set, that is login.jsp. Because when I will run this project, first login form will display. So login form corresponding file name is login.jsp. That's why So we have to set the welcome file as login.jsp file. Okay, so step number one. Then based on this login form, based on this login.jsp file, we will create Java bin because Java bin is our model component. So what is Java bin? Java bin, a class containing private data members, and containing getter and setter methods. So Java bin is a simply it is a class. So I will develop a Java bin, and here Java bin considering as our model component. So class, so definitely I will go to src main Java. Right click, new class. Simply it is a class. So I will go to Java resources folder. Under Java resources folder, there is a folder src main Java. Right click, new class. Okay, let my package name is suppose com.ceylon. Let my class name is suppose login bin. Click on finish button. So you see login bin dot Java, our model component. So login.jsp containing two attribute. One is username and password. So here two data member I will take. Based on the login form, I am taking two data member. But as per the definition, Java bin containing private data member, private. Okay, let it. So string, let it, I can write username and password. Private data members and containing getter and setter method. Getter, getting information. Setter, setting information. So very simple. You can go to in this way that directly go to source option, generate getters and setters. In this way you can create getter and setters. You see in the menu there is a menu source, generate getters and setters, generate getter. So in this way you can do that. The operation is not applicable. Select a field. Okay, not an issue. Directly in this way also you can go. Why it is not displaying? Right click, source, generate getters and setters. In this way, again I am repeating. Right click. Okay, source, generate getters and setters. In this way also. So select username and password because for two attribute, by taking two attribute username and password, the control will generate getter and setter. Get username, set username, get password and set password. Click on generate. You see getter and setter method created. Okay. So getter, get username, get password and set password. Okay. So this is called a Java bin. So you recall what is the mechanism. So already we have discussed model component containing business logic. So this is my model component. So it will contain business logic. Let I will define a method. Suppose public. Let return type is boolean. Let method name is validate. One method I am defining. Okay, so if I will write a logic, if suppose password dot equals, suppose I will write admin, I can write return true. Okay, then else return false. Suppose let this is my business logic. So one method I defined. So let the method name is validate. Return type I took boolean. So that's why I wrote return true or return false. If password, proper password, if I will give that is admin. So login will be successful, otherwise login is not successful. So here login bin.java is my model component. Login bin.java, so our model component. So I hope everybody got clarity. Give a response. So this is
Yes, sir.
our model component, login bin.java, containing private data members, containing getter and setter method. So in this context, model component will contain business logic. So this is my business logic. So business logic is nothing but a method we define. So this method definition will execute when, now when this method will call by login bin object, because we know when a method is invoking or is calling by an object, then method definition will execute. Validate method present in login bin class. So login bin object we will create where in the controller component. Already we have studied what is the mechanism. So now this is my Java bin. Then we will go to develop a servlet. That is login servlet.java. Right click on the package, new servlet. So class name is login servlet. So already we have studied servlet. There is no need wait to give the explanation. Click on next option. This is my URL pattern. Click on next option. So one method I selected. Click on finish button. So in which way that we have done, in same way we will do. So first of all, servlet API javax dot servlet dot star package. This part already we have known. Import javax dot servlet dot http dot star package, import java dot io dot star package. So this part already we have known, and this part I will delete. There is no need. This part also I will delete. So now this is my servlet. Now I will write the code. So first two line is common, response dot set content drive. Within bracket I will write text or HTML. This part already we have known which type of content that we want to set as response, text content or HTML content. It is representing print writer out equals to response dot get writer. So this part already we have known. Now already we have studied servlet. Same way, first of all we will process the form data. So how to process the form data, that already we have known, request dot get parameter. So within bracket what I will write uname, because here we have written what name equals to, same thing I will write. So two attributes, so two times get parameter method I will call, let pass and s2. That means username value assigned in S1, password value assigned in S2. So in this way, we processed form data. Now, coming to MVC point of view. In MVC context, or currently in this context, login servlet.java as our controller component. So already we have discussed what are the responsibilities of a controller component. The first responsibility is what? The first responsibility is the controller component creating the instance of model component. That means the controller component creating an object of model component. Model is login bin dot java. Login bin is nothing but a class. So happily here we will create an object of login bin. Login bin, let object name is obj equals to new class name. Okay, so this. As per the mechanism, the controller component creating the instance of object what model component, creating an instance of model component. Now, once object I created in login bit.java, you see, so there are two setter methods, set username and set password. So definitely this method I can call by login bin object because username value have assigned in S1, password value have assigned in S2. So that we have to set obj dot set username. So I will write S1 obj dot set password. I will write S2. So what I did, since login bin class have two setter method, one is set username and one is set password. So that setter method I will call by login bin object. Then setter method definition will execute. So what setter method representing? Simply setting value. Setting which value? Username value and password value. Username value assigned in S1. So I specified S1. Password value have assigned in S2. So I specified S2. So this is step number one. First responsibility of controller component. Then second responsibility is what? After creating an instance of model component, the controller component executes business logic. Whatever the business logic we have written in model component. So you see login bin dot java. So already we have a business logic. So this validate method I will call. When this method it will call, then this method definition will execute. So validate method I will call by login bin object. And you see return type is boolean. So here I will take an output variable, but this output variable I will take boolean. Why? Because at the time of definition, return type is a boolean. So at the time of call, so whatever it will generate the output value must be a boolean value. So let I will take a variable. Let's status. Suppose now I will call obj dot validate. Okay. So now step number two. This is responsibility number two of controller component. So controller component created an instance of model component. Then after that the controller component executes business logic, then after execution, then what the controller component will do? The controller component will choose a particular JSP page as view component. So you recall this part already we have discussed. Okay. So after execution of business logic, then the controller component will choose a particular JSP page as view component. So how I will write? So if true, if status, if true, suppose a JSP file will give a response login is successful. So if true, I will forward a request to welcome.jsp file. So this part already we have known in servlet how to forward a request to another resource. So this part already we know request dispatcher by using request dispatcher. Request dispatcher let rd equals to request dot get request dispatcher. Okay, so I will write welcome.jsp. Okay, first of all, I will get a request dispatcher object, and we know how I will get a request dispatcher object. When get request dispatcher method invoking a by request object, then it is returning a request dispatcher object. And here I specified another resource name. So that resource is welcome.jsp. So welcome.jsp our view component. So I can write rd.forward, okay, request comma response. Automatically it is coming. So if true, then if body will execute, else simply I will to copy and I will paste. So in place of welcome.jsp, suppose I will write error.jsp. So if else, so if it true, then if body will execute, that means welcome.jsp file will execute. If false, then else body will execute. Else body means error.jsp file will execute. So welcome.jsp or error.jsp, our view component. So immediately we have to develop welcome.jsp. So simply, so welcome, click on finish button. So only output statement we will write out.print method. I can write login is successful. Similarly, I will create another JSP file, let error. So I will write a response message out.print, sorry, invalid credential. Let it. So now welcome.jsp and error.jsp our what view components. Login servlet.java our controller component. Login bin.java our model component. So login servlet.java controller component. Controller component. Then welcome.jsp. This is my view component and error.jsp. So this is my view component. Clear? So this is login bin.java. This is my model component, login servlet controller component, welcome.jsp view component, error.jsp view component. But from welcome.jsp and error.jsp, one JSP file will execute because we have written within if else section. Now, since we have a servlet that already we have known, if we have a servlet, so we have to develop web.xml file. So this part already we have known, servlet begin, servlet end. Then first I will give servlet name, let MVC. This I will write servlet class. So class name always package name com dot Silan dot class name is login servlet. So this part already we have known. Servlet begin, servlet end, then servlet mapping begin, then servlet mapping end. First line is common, then URL pattern slash your class name login servlet. This. So in this way, you have to write the code and you have to do the practice. So now everything is complete. Login.jsp is our client side or our presentation logic. So this is model component. This is controller component. This is view component. This is view component. And this is our web.xml file. And you see, so this is the project structure. Now I will run. Right click, run as, run on server. Select server name, click on next option, select project name, click on finish. So logic is if password is admin. You see, so login form. Okay. So here control S. This is my output. Just I will just do the refresh. So okay, username let John Bay. Password admin ADMIN. Click on login button. You see login is successful. That means login is successful. This message where we have written welcome.jsp file. So again back to the refresh button. Username whatever I will write. Password whatever I will write. Sorry, invalid credential. Do the refresh. Whatever username, password is admin. So click login. Login is successful. So this is all about MVC without database. Then we will go to MVC with database.